everyone, Sarah Allison here from the Lincoln UK. Hope you're all well. And following on from our competition in my group earlier, I want to talk about the 10 qualities of a leader. And these are taken from Forbes, which is an online business magazine. Fantastic read, great tips if you're being an entrepreneur or building your own business. So the top 10 qualities are, number one, which I've already mentioned, is honesty. And obviously honesty is important because you want people to trust you. Especially if you're building your business online, trust is so important. And as we know with anything, relationships, life in general, trust is very difficult to earn but easily broken. So you tell the slightest little porky and it will ruin your name, your reputation. You need to show integrity at all time. So that's number one. Number two is to be able to delegate. And this is even true of your online business. We talk about, with network marketing, we talk about three-way calls. That's a form of delegation because you're getting someone who's more experienced than you to speak with your prospect. You're delegating something that you're learning. And in the same way, when you're a leader, then people will come to you and want you to be that person who leads the conversation. So delegation is a really important one. It really helps with organisation. And as your business grows, there's other things you can delegate. You can delegate your organisational tools, like you can delegate the admin side of it. You can delegate software development, anything like that. You can delegate to people who are actually more experienced. And that's a lot of people think to be a leader you've got to be master of all trades, but you don't. Being a leader is about knowing who's the best for certain jobs. And that's why delegation is so important, because you're not shirking responsibility or saying that you're not capable. What you're saying is someone's even better at this than me, and it makes more sense for them to take control of this area. So that's delegation. So the next one is confidence. And confidence comes from experience. It comes from knowledge. So all the work you do on self-development, watching these videos so you learn more, this is all going to build your confidence. And it's important when you're a leader that you demonstrate that confidence. I think we all know that if we were going to a boss who was like, oh, I don't know, I'm rubbish at this, I've no idea, then it would affect your confidence in them. So it's a two-way street. You want your leader to be confident in themselves. You want your leader to be confident in their knowledge. And likewise, when you're a leader, you need to feel confident. You need to feel that your team can come to you and ask you things. Doesn't necessarily mean, hi Gretchen, doesn't necessarily mean that you know everything, but it's about being confident of your own strengths. And like I say, that then you can move on to delegation for areas where someone else is stronger than you. But that's about, if you've got the confidence to say, okay, that's fine, we can sort that. What I'll do is I'll get my expert to, like for our group, Robin is the Instagram expert. So I'm confident in letting Robin do those posts in our group because I want to help you all. I want you to learn, and I have confidence in her ability, and I also have confidence in myself that I'm able to share that and point you in another direction. Next one is communication. And this is so important, and for leaders, how you communicate is imperative, because how you say what you say, it has a big bearing on how people view you. So if you're not, and also if you're not communicating, if you're not passing on information, then people are gonna feel detached from you. They're not going to want to come to you because you've not been communicating with them. And so you need to make sure as a leader that you are communicating regularly and building those relationships with people. Another one that follows directly on from that is being approachable. There's nothing worse than having a boss who you just don't want to have a conversation with. You know it's going to go really badly, or they're not going to listen or take you seriously. And so you have to be approachable. You have to be someone that people know that even if they're having a really dumb moment, which we all have, and they just can't can't remember something that they know they should know. You need to be able to go to your leader and say, you know what, being dumb, can't remember how to do this. And you need to know that they will not belittle you, they will not judge you, they will not put you down, they will support you, and that's what being approachable is all about. Also, like, the technical aspect of being approachable is it's no good if you're only online for 5 minutes a day, because people want to be able to get hold of you. I'm not saying you need to be at everyone's beck and call there and then, but you need a leader who you know you can get hold of and will get back to you within a reasonable length of time. So the next one is commitment. You need someone who's absolutely committed to not only their success, but your success. You want your leader to do whatever they can to ensure that you're successful. If that's pointing you in the way of training, then that's great. If it's helping you with something, it's just doing 3-way calls. You need to know that they're committed to that, and that basically you're not just a number. I think, if we're being honest, we've probably all worked for, whether it be online or in a normal 9-to-5 work environment, we've worked for people that they're not committed to our development, they're not committed to our success, they're actually only interested in what's in it for them, and they're not nice people to work for. They make your life difficult, and so be different to that. Be someone who shows that you're committed, shows that you're always providing your team with top-notch training, that you're there and that you want them to succeed, and not just because what it means for you, but actually what it means for them. Next one, sorry, I have written these down because there is 10 and my brain's not that great. You need someone with a positive attitude, and I spoke about this this morning. Sorry, I know it's raining here, so I do go a bit pixelated. Hopefully it's still recording, so it may be better on the recording. If not, I'll check it over. Positive attitude is important because, like I say, you don't want to be contacting someone who's constantly, it's terrible, I don't know how to do it, this is awful. You want someone who, even if something terrible's happened, they have an idea of how to get out of it. They are positively trying to rectify any situations. They are always supportive, always friendly, and they encourage you. They have that positive attitude towards you, what you're putting in, and even if you're going through a rough time, then they're still supportive of you. And that's all about having that positive attitude. Another part of that is also that they're driven. You want someone who knows that they can succeed, who is committed to their own success, someone who's driven, because that inspires you. If you're working for someone, if your leader is someone who's always pushing themselves, always trying to be better, then that makes you want to be better. And I think that is such a good sign of a leader, is someone who inspires. And that is actually one of the other ones, is someone who is inspiring. And you can be inspiring in lots of different ways. Inspire people through your actions, inspire people through your thoughts, inspire people through your results. Next one, creativity. You need people who can think outside the box. Nothing in life ever goes smoothly. We are sent challenges, and we're sent them to make us better. So you want someone who can be creative, who can think outside the box, who, when something comes up that isn't what they expected, they're not floored by it. They can think about ways around it. And they're also, creative people are fun to be around because they're always firing new ideas. And I think I like that. I like a leader who is always thinking of new ways to do things, because it keeps you on your toes and it makes life interesting. Next one, and the final one, is use your intuition. As a leader, you need to know the people that you're working with. And I know from my experience that people I've worked with, I know when something's not 100% with them. I'm aware enough of them as people to know if they're struggling with something, and they might not be confident enough to come forward. So it's up to you to use that intuition and just reach out and say, is everything okay? I've noticed you've been a bit quiet. Is there anything I can help you with? Whether they choose to take you up on that is entirely their decision. But being intuitive to where people are at is really important, I think. And having a leader who knows that, who recognizes you at your best, and also picks up on when things might not be going right, and it's just there to reach out and just check in on you. So there you go. There's the top 10 qualities of a leader as quoted from Forbes. I agree with all of them. I'm sure there's plenty more that you can add. If there's any that you think we haven't covered, please do put them in the comments below. And think about what sort of leader you are right now. Think about what sort of leader you aspire to be, and become that person. Pick up on those qualities. If you're not particularly good in any of those areas, you can get better at them. It just takes a willingness. So I hope you found that helpful. If you're watching this live in the group, I really appreciate that. If you're watching this as a replay, I hope you've got a lot of value out of it. If you're watching it on one of my social media channels,